we can do it sooner. I think the first time we do it is when I do the other part.
That's right. Every minute.
Minute. $5 a minute.
You under the 7:15.
Okay.
Right.
Do you have the names so you can
Every
call
minute
them?
is $5.
They're down in the swamp. Meadowbrook Manor,
That's all I
they're down
have.
in the swamp. Meadowbrook Manor, they're down in the swamp.
Are those real?
Hello, Mr. Shattuck. You look bewildered.
So what does, what does, they have to pay?
Okay.
Take his time.
I am
Then
testing.
we can make arrangements.
Come in. One minute.
It's already paid when you win.
Yeah, I just saw it.
Yeah,
I'm sorry?
we get a check certified.
That's what you have.
He blamed my smoke. He said, I'm feeling great, I'm just slow. And he blamed my smoke. Why do they blame everything on smoking? He said, because it's true. I said, you care to debate that? He said, no. That's a real nice guy.
I'm serving order of Sunbury.
No.
So, you've met with Janetta, and Supervisor Johnson.
I just got my alert, Mark. I just got my alert, the news update.
On,
Call me.
oh yeah.
Dawn, just
I
Oh, Epic Music. Yeah, he's not doing good.
Donald or Comey?
Oh,
Oh, okay. I just wanted to make sure what kind of company you keep.
your foot doctor.
this Saturday.
Right. Well, I can't talk about it.
Give
but-
Sunday.
Exactly.
The control center of federal
Before and
is the
after.
clearing center for phone calls. So if you call in, doesn't matter what number you call, you will be greeted with the exact same.
If you had a chance
That's
to,
nice code, is this call reference code in?
when you drew across your,
I discussed with Smoke this day.
yeah, I mean, there's not a lot to do there, but I'm concerned about all the
Go
water.
ahead.
Always on play.
We could be an outside someday, that would be very good.
Take every institution, it's a, what you should.
Not my record.
I just,
And don't say anything.
Mr.
rather
Watson.
have lunch than
See you next tonight.
Call the May 2017 meeting of the Ralpho Township Supervisors to order. Pledge of allegiance. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We need to announce that we did have an executive session. It was held April 26th after our meeting for possible litigation. And we, Mr. Wetzel, did you need an executive session tonight?
Yes, sir.
You will be having one tonight. Is that for personnel? Personnel issue?
Yes.
Roll call.
Supervisor Madera?
Here.
Supervisor Wetzel?
Here.
Supervisor Major?
Here.
Supervisor Daubert?
Here.
Supervisor Williams?
Here.
All present?
Any citizens' input on agenda items? Consider the minutes of the April 11th regular meeting.
hello,
Second. Treasurer.
yeah,
Oh, wait.
sure.
Motion properly moved and seconded on the question. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Treasurer's report.
General fund balance as of April 30th, 2017, $616,843.96. State aid fund balance as of April 30th, 2017, $421,883.92.
Motion approved.
Second.
Motion properly moved and seconded on the question. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Bills, please.
Make a motion to pay bills.
Second.
Motion properly moved and seconded to pay the bills. All on the question. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Correspondence.
Investment summary reports for the period ending March 31st, 2017 are in the Supervisor's office for review. Seven Mountains EMS Council National Emergency Medical Services Week, May 21st through the 27th of 2017 notice was received. DEP letters regarding extension requests for Atlantic Sunrise Pipeline to June 23rd, 2017 were received. DEP letter regarding water obstruction and encroachment permit issuance for Elysburg Sheets Rebuild number 216 was received. That's all I have.
Okay. Planning Commission, Mr. Boyer is here, Mark.
We just have one plan. This is an add-on subdivision. It is on Airport Road near the intersection of Blue Church. Not sure if everyone remembers the Shepherd subdivision. He pulled that. He requested that we scratch that, which we did. And what he's doing is he is selling 15 acres to Lisa and Robert Verano and attaching it to this piece here. He's keeping the piece that the house is on. We're attaching this piece to Verano's.
Oh, funky back there, isn't it?
Is that, that's existing property line?
This is the existing, but this will be the new property line for Shepherd. And then this will be, I don't know if you know where Jim Zerg's house is. But this is Airport Road on Blue Church.
Where's Randall's like existing property?
Right here. If you come in, you're coming in past Blue Church, you come in off of, it's one of the houses. Yeah.
My hair, all right?
Maybe this
Is that the place?
Yeah, that is, it's their existing right here. Right, this piece is theirs, and we're adding this 15 acres to this.
But they're not attaching this one,
No,
they're keeping that separate.
yes.
Biggest frontage from here.
But he has his frontage here, they have theirs here
Okay.
for this.
That's enough.
Yes.
That's not. Okay. I just thought that's kind of what you think, if you just took that off and cleaned it up that way. You know what
I
I mean?
agree. I agree.
Yeah, it's kind of just an odd piece back there. You're gonna live with, but whatever. As long as it meets the requirements.
It needs everything.
Any questions? Have a motion to approve.
Recommendation is approval. Is that fine? Yes. So moved.
Second.
Motion properly moved and seconded on the question. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries.
Seconded that. Steve, thank you.
Street Department, Mr. Wetzel.
Okay, everybody got to see Howard's report, and we really don't have, Howard, you have anything?
I do not.
Further?
You want to talk about the letter?
Oh, yeah, we can get,
They all
put
have a
that on
copy.
here.
It's not on the agenda, but they all have a copy.
We did receive a letter from Meadowbrook Manor Homeowners Association regarding the road down around Pocahontas.
Past Pocahontas down in the
Yeah.
wet area.
They'd like us to consider paving that. There's about 50 driveways there to reseal, and they're not gonna, from this letter, they're gonna reseal them soon, but I talked to Howard, there is some potholes there, and we're trying to get to them with cold patch, but with the rain and stuff, they've been working diligently with cold patch, and just haven't gotten everywhere they need to, but he's gonna take care of that with some cold patch and fill the holes in, but it might be something to put on the list maybe for next year's paving or something like that, so. They are looking for a response, so I don't know if you want to have Debbie just send them a letter and say that we'll look into paving it within the next couple of years, or whatever, but we think it'll be all right with a little bit of cold patch for this year, yeah.
Yes.
There's not that high traffic area down there, I mean, it's what, maybe 30 cars a day, so.
So we want to put in the letter.
Oh.
Say that the pothole will be addressed,
Right.
you know, right, as soon
Just
as
say we're-
possible.
Yeah, we're gonna be
And,
filling in the
you know,
potholes.
we'll look into, you know, paving in the future.
Right. In the near
For the next
future.
couple of years, yeah. Okay, sound good, Debbie?
Thank you.
Other than that, unless somebody has something else, I'm done, Mr.
Howard,
Yes.
when's Center Street gonna get paved? So I can put the front end of my vehicle back together?
I am told sometime in the next 6 weeks.
Good,
I was contacted
Push
earlier last week as to
that is hard.
who got our paving contract. And I think they're gonna try and roll that in when our paving guy comes. That's what I'm thinking.
That is terrible up there, man.
Yeah, I don't know how they can't do a better temporary
Yeah,
paving job
that
than
is
they do.
horrible.
I mean, some of these jobs are done like late in the winter, and I could understand that kind of a little bit. That really wasn't done, you know, that deep into winter, that it should have been a better.
I don't care if they have to come and dig it, well, they have to dig it back out anyhow, don't they?
They have to cut it back another foot
Yeah.
or 6 inches on each side and fill it with 6 inches of base and then cap
I
it.
think we have to be harder on these contractors, even if it's late, whatever,
Okay.
because they left that a mess. I'm surprised we didn't get more people complaining, because that's bad up through there, especially with the church there.
I'll see what I can find out concretely by the end of the week.
That's all I have. Mr. Wetzel?
Hey, Howard, you good?
I'm good.
I'm good.
Okay, buildings. Everyone sees the estimate from Brett Rhodes to do the molding in the gym. I did talk to Brent and did like a little walkthrough with him, and he said the old glue has to be removed. There's like 12 areas around the gym where he would have to cut the molding to fit underneath the conduit and some other things. So I don't know if anyone feels that's out of line, or.
The only thing I would say is, I do have a message from
The mat company.
the mat company, I can't think of the name. They're gonna come and look at why the mats are popping, sports ground. So, I think we need to hold him off until
Okay,
they get repaired.
do you know?
I think, did I talk to you? I thought you else. It looks like they use two different sized concrete screws, and where they use the short ones, they're popping out, so the mats are, yeah, the,
Joint seam, whatever.
right.
Yeah.
So they have to come back and,
Yeah, he did point that out to me
Yeah.
too, so.
when they get a crew in the area, they'll be back out. So maybe just hold off on this,
All right,
and I'll try to keep up on him, get somebody on
I don't
there.
know if you get any other phone quotes or not, but whatever.
that's the only one I got, that's the only one I knew who would. I wish he would have, put how much the materials were separate.
Yeah.
I can find that out if anybody wants to.
Probably at least $1,000, I would think, of material, wouldn't you think? For that rubberized stuff to go all the way around there.
He said you'd have to use the commercial grade stuff, so.
Yeah, probably close to it. I don't know how much, maybe that. It sounds like maybe the labor intensity is getting the old glue off, is what it sounds like, you know what I mean? If it wasn't for that, if it was just slapping new stuff on, it wouldn't be so bad, but taking the old glue off, I'm sure it's gonna be labor intensive, so.
Okay, do I need a motion to?
If you want to go ahead, yes.
I'll make a motion, but for them to wait until after we have the inspection done, see what's gonna go with the mats, but I'll make a motion to go ahead and have it done.
Second.
Properly moved and seconded. On the question, all those in favor say aye. Opposed, motion carries. Okay, the items we've had on the municipal bid. You wanna
Yeah.
do the call too?
We can do them separately or whatever. The mobile ladder scaffold, the high bidder is $925. His name is Fiore Massey from Somerset, New Jersey.
I think that's more than we paid for it 10 years ago.
Do we have to do all separate?
It's probably easier to do them separate.
Separate.
You don't have to, but
So we need a motion on that.
500.
I'll make a motion to sell it to highest bidder.
I'll second that. Motion properly moved and seconded. On the question, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries.
Okay, the stainless steel countertop and sink, the high bid was $190, and it is going to Anna, and her last name is M.A., and she is from Bud Lake, New Jersey.
Maybe they can carpool.
Maybe.
No, but,
I'll make a motion to sell the sink to the highest bidder.
yeah. Put it
Motion
up
properly
by
moved and seconded. On the question, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, motion carries.
Wonderful.
Okay.
That's the way to go.
$3 for the car would be,
Yeah.
be awesome.
Recreation, Mr. Williams.
My endeavor to get rid of these Pepsi, I don't know if this is under recreation or not, but this is what I've been working on lately. Last year, we were told that they were moved, and I came down and took a picture of it and said, well, they're still here. No, they're moved. So here we go again, in 2017, endeavor to get the Pepsi machines moved again. So they have a new.
You're more successful than I am.
If you know anybody wants some, because we could probably
Well, I
fix
think
them
that,
up and say.
I think that might be our next,
I have one down in Miller's too that needs to be moved.
and then you said the fire company one, right?
John.
Still there, yep.
Yeah.
We're working on that.
So,
Let me know on that
I'm
one.
a municipal bid.
you want that moved, or you want it to stay?
No, let's
stay.
Oh, that one's
Yeah.
staying? Oh, okay, I thought you wanted to move. Okay,
We did.
Well, we did,
We
but we-
changed our mind.
okay, so my endeavor to, they have a new person in charge. They send them the appropriate pictures and numbers and everything else, which I did. Haven't heard anything back, but they have promised to move them again. So we'll see how that works out, okay? We'll be talking about next year at 18, so just let you know. But just, I'm working on the Pepsi machines because they're an eyesore. Now, do we want anything in there? Replace them with a Coke machine, or we just gonna leave it alone?
We tried that, didn't we?
Yeah, I tried Coke last year and you had to commit to sell something like 4 million bottles of summer or something, I don't remember. The one thing, and I think I talked to you, Danny, I thought maybe just put a water fountain there. The plumbing's already there, coming in, it wouldn't be much to just put a water fountain there, and then when they winterize it, Mr. Shattuck.
Yeah, it's taking my son down there a lot and his crew. Kids just go over to Dollar General and get bottled water. They really do.
So just
And I know the
leave-
problems
yeah,
we've had
one more.
with the water fountain out here.
Just one more headache. Okay.
Kids will take a bath and put water
Or jamming something.
Put a bird bath in there since you have water.
Okay, anyhow, that's, Mr. Chairman, that's all I have, but we're gonna try one more time to get the Pepsi machines out of there.
Okay.
I have something for recreation here, Mr. Chairman, just real quick. I was in with Debbie this week, and the key cards, we have this nice system over here that's swiping a key on the computer and she can activate and deactivate. We were talking about it, and we think that now that basketball season's over, there's only a couple cards that need to be activated, so we deactivated all the coaches and everybody to keep everybody out, and we just let maybe like the presidents of the two organizations have theirs active, and the adult basketball and adult volleyball. Other than that, we deactivate everybody, and then next year,
Start them up again.
they can come with their coaches list, and if somebody who has a key isn't on there, it stays inactive. If they want their money back, fine. If not, we have the money to buy new cards when we need them. So if everybody's okay with that, I guess, Debbie, I don't know. You can call me or whatever, we can go through who we're deactivating or whatever, but.
Okay.
Is that everything, Mr. Wood?
Yep, that's all I have for recreation.
Mr. Chairman, can we go back to buildings? You guys will love me for this, but that Brent Rhodes thing that we just talked about, so Brent's on our planning commission. And I was just double checking the Ethics Act, and it looks to me that if it talks about who you're associated with, and it almost reads like the association is the entire township. So I think maybe before we do that, I can just look at that a little bit more closely. It's not, he's not voting on it, he's not part of the supervisors, but it looks to me if it's over $500, we may need to advertise if we would award that to him. But just let me look at it before you're tabling it until we
Tabled it
get something else anyways.
We didn't table it, we made a motion to vote on it, so I'll rescind my motion then.
Okay, I'll rescind my second then.
Now look at it and see what we gotta do.
Well, I mean, we tabled till other work got done, but.
Oh, yeah, but we still made a motion to go ahead and do it, so we'll have to rescind that.
Let's just rescind that.
So, you'll need to vote on that.
Okay, motion properly rescinded and seconded.
Yeah.
All those on the question? Any questions? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion rescinded.
Anything else you have, Mr.
No,
Butcher?
I'm good.
We're done. Thank you.
Okay, zoning, Mr. Major.
Everybody sees Mark's report there, 7 permits issued in the month of April. It was our hope to have some revised ordinances to review this evening and then potentially advertise and adopt in June. But as we've been working on this over the last month, we kind of expanded the scope a little bit to include the chapter 22 that we were going to hold off on. So in light of that, our plan now is to have the draft for June, advertise and adopt in July. In the meantime, Mark had some thoughts on major versus minor subdivisions and how that's set up now, and he had some thoughts about how we wanted to revise it. So Mark, I'll turn it over to you.
We don't clarify, up to 4 newly created lots is a minor. You go to the 5th, it's a major. My concern, and maybe it's not warranted, I mean, I like Drew's input and Todd's, is that someone will do 4. We do have a very old situation where what we've ended up with is I think it's 8 lots done one at a time. So is it worth it, or is it necessary to say that the 5th newly created lot makes all of that a major, and you've got to do the planning and the requirements for a major? Does DEP go back, I think they told me 72 for the parent track for the sewage modules?
That I don't know off the top of my head.
I'm not sure how far they go back, but they go back. I
But
don't
there's
know.
a similar situation with NPDS permits too, so when you're over an acre, you have to get the NPDS, so people try to do half acre now, 3/4 of an acre and tally it up, but you can't do that.
This came
That's
up before,
5
Mark.
years.
I thought there was verbiage in there that you couldn't get, a second bite of the apple, third bite of the apple. So if you're telling me there's not verbiage in there, then I definitely want to put something in there that they can't do that, because obviously, why would you not do that? Get 4 this year, 4 next year, 4 the following year? I mean, you can't.
And something Mark and I discussed right before the meeting, and the thought I had is, as far as the township's concerned, our big concern is improvements,
Right.
roads and things like that. So would it make more sense to just make the distinction between a major and a minor an improvement? If you have, let's say, 14 acres of frontage on Center Street, and you chopped it up into 7 2-acre parcels, that's no effect really on the township. But if you have 14 acres in the back and you want to put in a road with a cul-de-sac and make 7 acres out of that, 7 lots out of that, then that, in my mind, would be the differentiation between a major and a minor.
I agree with you, Steve, in theory, but I think that would be kind of tough it's like, to me, it's almost like, the way you just spelled it out is very black and white. But I think there would be some gray areas that would be, maybe somebody's judgment would come in to say, well, in my judgment, it's not, a major, and somebody else says, well, in my judgment, it is. You know what I mean? I don't know. I kind of like the number of lots, even though, like you said, in your scenario, it's either impact or non-impact to the township. So I don't know. I think that would be maybe more complicated than that's for you guys to figure out,
Or even, you can even define it that it's a number of lots or contains a public improvement.
Because that's our big concern, is that the cul-de-sacs and the road
Sure.
width and everything else. And that's when we get, when I was on planning school, we would get the engineer involved, as if there were those things. If it was just like the Grana one,
Yeah.
there's no need to get them involved, it's just a simple
Yeah.
add-on.
I don't have a problem with the and/or, you know what I mean? scenario, I don't have a problem with that at all.
Let's see what he comes up with.
So that was the other big change that we wanted to incorporate with this. I know, everyone, I think, got a copy of the proposed updates, which are pretty much the same as we talked about last month. I don't know if everybody had a chance to look at those, if there were any comments on them. But again, our plan is, Planning Commission looked at it last week. They had a couple minor revisions that I think were good. And then hopefully in June, we'll have a draft set for everybody to look at. If everybody's happy, we can advertise and adopt in July. And that will be all of the ordinance changes we talked about, with the exception of, is it chapter 29 stormwater? Which I think Drew, Justin had some comments on that, so we'll have to work on that later in the year, but it can be everything except that.
Sounds good.
That's all I have.
Okay, police department, Mr. Barrett.
Okay, during the month of April, the department answered 157 calls for assistance, including this total are 9 traffic accidents and 15 initial investigations, with 17 criminal charges filed. There are 4,767 miles patrolled during April, 23 traffic arrests, and 29 warnings issued for motor vehicle violations. Everybody got a copy of the letter from PennDOT? Their report, or
The
lack
email.
thereof.
That they're doing nothing?
Yeah,
Mhm.
big surprise, sorry. I almost get carried away. Again, yeah, they're not gonna pretty much do anything. I spoke with the chief about the report, and what I took from it was snow, snow, weather, weather, weather. And I said, what about all the fatalities that had nothing to do with weather? There was during, there was no snow. He said, well, they talked about that initially. Well, sir, you can say you were at the meeting.
We talked about that initially, and that comes down to design changes and everything else, and the area just doesn't warrant it.
So I don't know how many fatalities warrants a better investigation, or if we want to just drop the ball at this point, or if we want to try and go to either a Mr. Mosser or maybe Mr. Gordon or whatever, and see if we want to push this any further or not. But I'm not really happy with what we get from PennDOT. It's like status quo. You can't reinvent the wheel. This is what we do. If you don't like it, too bad. This is what we do.
Mr. Madera, if you wish, and I should have asked for a copy, they brought with them printouts of all the reportable accidents, and they actually plotted them along with the fatalities. Maybe if I can get that information for your review, that might help you decide what you might.
How far back does that go, Stu?
I forget the date range. As we spoke on the phone, I almost want to say 3 years, but I'm not certain.
Yeah, see, and this would be going back further than that. My recollection would be going back further than that. Like 1 a year, or 7 out of 10 years or something like that. You know what I mean? And to me, I think that's bad. I mean, it's not that specific, very specific area, but that passing lane, quote, climbing lane has been there for several years, and I think there's been quite a few since that, and the one is down further from Woodruff's, but that was in part from the passing lane too, if you ask me, so.
Let me give that engineer a call, see if he can share that with us, and then I'll make sure everybody gets a copy.
Okay, and then we can discuss it next month if you guys wish, and see which way we want to pursue it, if we want to pursue it any further. If not, I don't have a problem, it's just that I get a little frustrated, as you all know. What's the municipal bid auction results? Do we have that for the?
Yeah, the high bid is Robert Miller. He's from right here in Elysburg on Nottingham Drive, and the bid was $1,551.
Make a motion, we accept the highest bid.
Second?
Motion properly moved and seconded on the question. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries.
What's the pleasure of the board? Do you want me to deal with Officer Wants now, or a new business, or what do you want to do?
Do it now, it has to be done anyway.
Well, as everybody has gotten the evaluation from Chief Apple, for Officer Wansott. And I agree with his recommendation to remove Officer Glenn Wansott from probation and be promoted to Patrolman 3 as stipulated in the contract retroactive to May 1st. You know, he's did his probation and now he's coming on board as a full-time officer at Patrolman 3. So I'll make that motion.
Second.
Motion properly moved and seconded on the question. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
You have anything else, Chief?
No, sir?
I guess we're done.
Recycling, Mr. Williams.
And in the past, we sometimes have young people that would like to do some community service. We have a young man, let's see, Ryan Letgo, has to get 3 hours of community service in the township is required to graduate. So I don't know, I would like to, if the board so desires, if you want to okay this, I would like to talk to Charlie first. Sometimes we okay things and then throw them on Charlie and he's like, okay, what do I do with them? So I'd like to, at least this was brought to my attention today, so.
I'll make a motion that we approve it as long as you're okay with Charlie.
Okay.
That works rather than.
Can we just approve a blanket
No.
that gives the department head the authority to have kids who need community service to work with?
Our insurance guy loves when you do the separate motion.
And you have
You talked to Jeff already?
No, but
Oh.
that's totally what they like. You know,
No.
approve
I
of
just
the
assume do
meeting.
a blanket motion that you just, you know, as long as you talk to Charlie and he's okay doing it these couple days, then.
Now, last year you made up a release form, so we'll need
Do the
that,
same thing.
same thing. We'll need to have them, parents sign off on him for,
And Chief, maybe we do that for the police ride-alongs. If Stu gets a release, maybe we approve it, I'm not sure. Is that a blanket?
I don't know.
Or don't we do that?
I don't know, I there's no sense
I-
coming every time, because.
Well, the only thing is, I can see Todd's point only because it's the individual's name is in the motion, you know, rather than just a blank. You know what I mean? I don't know.
I don't know,
We
I
get that many.
I
No,
mean,
you
I
don't.
don't think we've been long.
whatever.
Usually.
Rather than having him say, well, I gotta come to the board first, I mean, if he knows him or whatever, or talks to the parents, why can't he just say, yeah, let me talk to Charlie, find out, and call him back and say they're good to go, you have to sign this release and it's done. I mean, I don't really care who's over there helping Charlie, as long as Charlie's okay with it.
And they're probably
Check it out,
just staying there monitoring him anyhow, so as long as, but, you know, as long as we got some, have the parents sign off on it. How did we do that last year, Debbie, do you remember?
I might have a copy of it, I'll look in the morning.
Okay, did the parents come in here then?
I don't recall, but I
I
know
don't either.
parents signed it, the kid and the parents signed it.
Okay, all right. We need a motion for that, or we wanna blanket it from
Yeah,
now
I think you have
on?
a motion and
Oh, okay,
contingent on the release.
Yeah. Release and
And.
Charlie's okay.
yeah. Okay,
Motion is
did you
properly
second it,
moved
or
and
do I need to second it? Oh, Vince, okay. There we go.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
That's all I have, Mr. Chairman.
Managers report, Mr. Springer.
I don't have anything other than municipal bid results are there from the very beginning, posting to the end. It's interesting reading if you want to take a look
See all
at
the
it.
bids.
The back and forth as the bids went.
Oh, yeah.
It's interesting to look at.
You do?
Other than that, that's it.
Solicitors report.
Now, Mr. Major capably handled my issue.
All right. Engineers report.
Yeah,
Our engineer's report's attached.
okay.
I don't have any additional updates
Oh,
unless
yeah,
there's
okay,
questions.
all right.
Okay. Old business. Any new business? New business. Going once? Any citizens input?
I do have a couple of comments and questions for you guys. One, I'm taking pictures. I just want to tell you for the Ely'sburg Local League website, we can have profiles of local leadership, pictures, and we hope to get bios and profiles of everyone that's sitting and everyone that's gonna be running in the election coming up. So I think I got good pictures of everyone, but if you don't like the picture, you can send me a different one if you want. The other thing I wanted to comment on was the water fountain at the park. I think that's a really good idea, because some kids, I can tell when we're down there, are dehydrated. Maybe they don't have money to buy a bottle of water, and I feel so bad for them, like I should go buy a bottle of water and bring it to them. It would be really nice to have a water fountain down there. The third and final thing I wanted to comment on is the cell tower issue. So they rendered their decision, and the zoning hearing board approved the variance for Verizon. And me and our neighbors, every neighbor except for Tim, who doesn't live there, is upset about the cell phone tower going in. And so we are going to appeal that decision, and we feel like the zoning hearing board let us down and didn't consider the effect on the residents, or even make a decision that is faithful to the law of variances. So that's why we are appealing. And the zoning hearing board members really can't be accountable because they're appointed, right? They're not like running or anything. So we would like to know, or to find out how we can find out who appointed each member of the zoning hearing board. Or if you guys know, we would like that information.
We appointed
The
every
board,
year.
the supervisors appoint.
Yes,
The
I
whole
know,
board.
but someone will nominate each, right, if they were nominated by specific people.
I don't know who that would, I don't, I mean, it's
It's
followed
at our
on record somewhere,
reorganization,
but.
it's at our reorganization
Yeah.
meeting every January, so it's kind of, we may do a blanket motion, you know, I'm not sure.
Okay. I think if we can get the date of like when, like how long they've been on the zoning hearing board, I can go back and look at the meeting minutes and get that information. Unless you can tell me, if you can give me that information, that would be great.
Generally, you don't have people beating down our doors for any of these positions, so if we find somebody that's willing to serve in the township in any capacity, we're more than happy to jump on the opportunity, so
Okay.
that's kind of the way I always looked at it.
I would still like specific information if I can get it.
You do have to fill out
Right.
a written form to request that information.
Okay, like,
Those are available and
But I don't know, what are you gonna find out? I mean, just when they started on the board?
no, who exactly, who nominated each person?
Who nominated them?
That's what I said, it doesn't, it's not like,
You can go.
I know Joe Blow, so I want to nominate him. It's just that we put it out there if anybody's willing to serve, and whoever says they're
Yes,
willing to
that's
serve,
who we appoint.
that's who gets the nod.
So you advertise it and people say they want to do it?
It's appointed every year. I mean, typically, if we're looking for somebody, we put the information out there that we're looking for somebody to serve, and then we appoint, pretty much like Elaine said, whoever comes down the door.
Okay, I still would like the specific information. I guess I need to fill out a form. I can
it's
do
online.
that.
You can get the form online and have to fill it
Okay,
out. Okay,
that's all.
do I have a motion for adjournment?
So move. Before we adjourn, I just have a question for you in recording the meetings, okay?
Yeah.
I don't have a problem in recording meetings, but the meeting doesn't start until the gavel drops. So anything prior to that is in violation of the wiretap law. So when I went online to the YouTube, I saw that you had 5 minutes and 32 seconds of us sitting up here just chatting. That's in violation to the wiretap law in the state of Pennsylvania. So if you did that again tonight, I would appreciate you cut it out of there and it doesn't go online.
Okay, I think the law states you have to tell someone that you're recording them.
No, the law
So-
states that you may record the public meeting. The wiretap law says you can't record private conversations, which is what we're having prior to a meeting. So until the gavel drops, the meeting isn't opened. So you're violating the wiretap law for Pennsylvania. So,
Well, I will be sure to just get from gavel to gavel.
and that's fine, I don't have a problem with it going up gavel to gavel or anything else we say in here, but
Yeah, okay.
prior to the meeting is not public meeting. It's my private conversation, so.
Sure. We already adjourned?
I had a motion for adjournment.
Read the exact, right?
Second?
Do we need to reconvene after this? Or?
I don't know.
No.
The motion is adjourned. 7:07.
We did it, man.
Better make a note of that one. 7:07.